All right. So again, let me remind you that this session is recorded. So if you missed something important here in my session today, you can actually check it out this one in our completed section. Okay. So for today's topic, I will be discussing about basic concept of circular function. Okay. So last meeting we have talked about the sequence, okay, the series, how to identify arithmetic and geometric, followed by the mathematical induction, binomial theorem. So now let's proceed here to the basic concept of circular function, okay? So we have to focus muna dito sa circular function, which is all about the ano lang po, mga terminologies. And for the next session, I will be discussing the computation for the circular function. Okay? So, let's proceed muna dito sa term na ray. Okay? Are you familiar with ray? Okay. So, a ray, as stated here, a ray consists of point O on a line and extends indefinitely in one direction. Okay? As you can see here, the point O, we have here the point O is what we call the end point or vertex. Okay? So as you can see here, ano po ba yung ray? Okay? So this will be the line. As you can see here, this will be your vertex. Okay? And extends indefinitely up to here. Okay? So for this one, we have here one ray. Okay? Will you please turn off your microphone for a while? Okay? And this one, we have here second ray. Okay, so for this diagram we have here actually two rays. So this one is what we call ray. There's an endpoint and it extends, okay, to infinity. So we have your first ray and this one is the second ray. Okay, in addition, it's stated here that if you have two rays, okay, so if two rays are drawn with a common endpoint, so they will form an angle. Okay, so the rays are called the sides of the angle. As you can see here, we have the two rays are drawn here. Okay, so it intersects to each other, isn't it? Which forms as the endpoint or vertex. Okay, so through that you will form an angle. Okay, so there's an angle here. Okay po, so that will be the concept. So, in addition, also, as you can see here, we have here standard position. So, how are we going to identify if it is in standard position? So, an angle is said to be in a standard position if its vertex, so we have your vertex, is at the origin of the rectangular coordinate system and its initial side po ay nasaan po? It coincides with the x-axis naman. Okay? So, but before that, let me let me give you the concept of initial side and terminal side. So, when we say initial side, ito po yung initial position mo of the ray, which is what we call the initial side. This will be the yung naka ano lang po siya, yung hindi gumagalaw, so it's not moving for the ray. While for the terminal side, okay, this will be the terminal position. Okay, this will be the ray or the length, okay, or the line that is actually moving. Okay, so it can be counterclockwise or clockwise. Okay, and that must be served or that must be called as terminal side. Okay po. So again, how do we say if it is in starting position? Again, we have here the Cartesian coordinate system. If your initial side lies on the origin, at it coincides to the x-axis po. So say for example, this will be your initial side. So we should say that your this one is in the standard position. Okay, your angle is in standard position po. Okay, for instance, say for example, this will be the terminal side that you have. Okay, so this will be in a standard position. While your quadrantal angle naman po, so if an angle is in standard position, at yung terminal side naman po, coincides with the coordinate axis, then we should say that the angle is referred to as quadrantal angle naman po. So if standard position po, kung nag-coincides po sa x, okay, sa x po, ito po, that is in its standard position. Pag ang terminal side mo naman po, okay, which is yung gumagalaw po na line or ray, so nag-coincides po siya sa ating x-axis. For example, nandito po ang ating nandito po yung ating terminal side. Then therefore, this is what we call quadrantal angle. All right? Otherwise, the angle is in the same quadrant as its terminal side as well. Okay? So now let's proceed here. So the degree measure and radian measure. So I know you are all familiar with degree and radian. Okay, so let's define that one. So it's stated here that the measure of an angle is given by stating the amount of rotation. So it depends to the amount of rotation to revolve from the initial position that you have, okay, of the ray, and also to the terminal position. Okay, so it always depends on the rotation. Okay po. And in addition, the most commonly used unit to measure angles are in terms of revolution, degrees, and radian. So later we will know the difference among the three, okay? Revolution, degrees, and radian po. Alright? So let us define first what is degree. In addition also, ang one revolution po, say for example, we have your Cartesian coordinate system. In one revolution, that is actually equal to 360 degrees, okay? In total. Okay po? So again, when say degree, a degree is the measure of an angle formed by rotating a ray 1 over 360 of complete revolution. So that's opposite on that on what I have said. The symbol for degree, as we all know, will be like this. Okay, so it's something like a small circle in your exponent. So that is what we call degree. Okay. So we have here the angles, okay, the measure of an angle, okay? So say for example, we have here an angle which is straight, represented as this graph. So if you see something like this one, a straight line, we should say that the measurement, okay, it measures of an angle which is 180 degrees. Are you familiar with protractor? We all know that it measures 180 degrees, isn't it? So it represented as this, okay po? While acute, I know you're all familiar with this. If your central angle, okay, if your angle is actually greater than to 0, okay, but less than 90 degrees, okay, so it can be between that condition 0 and 90 degrees, for instance, then that must be called as an acute angle. All right, so for instance, this will be a representation. Say for example, this will be your Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, and say for example, this one, it measures 45 degrees, okay, half of the 90 degrees that you have. Okay, so that must be considered as acute angle because 45 degrees, okay, 45 degree po ay mas maliit po siya kaysa sa 90 degrees. So that must be considered as an acute. While right angle, this is very simple. If you have exact 90 degrees for the measurement of your angle, then therefore that must be called as a right angle. Okay? I want you to keep that in your mind. What about your obtuse? Okay? Paano po ba pag obtuse? So if your angle is greater than 90 degrees but less than 180, okay, so you will be having an obtuse. For instance, say for example, this will be 90 degrees, right? This 90 degrees and this will be 45, say for example. So 90 plus 45, you have 135. So 135 degrees, okay, ay tinatawag po nating obtuse angle. Since nandun po siya sa ating condition na kung saan yung angle mo is 90 degrees, greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Okay? So that is for the obtuse. And in addition, okay po, meron tayong tinatawag din dito na reflex angle. Ano po ba yung reflex angle? So i-add na lang po natin, reflex. When we say reflex angle, ito naman po yung after the 180, okay? Greater than 180 naman siya, greater than 180, but less than 360. So lahat po ng degrees na mas malaki sa 180, that must be considered as reflex angle, okay? So I want you to keep that in your mind. All right. So now let's proceed here to the complementary and supplementary angle. I know this will be basic for you, but let me repeat only, or this will be served as a review na lang, okay? When we say complementary and supplementary, what will be the difference between these two? Okay, so when we say complementary, if if you're looking for the sum of the two measures of two angles that you have, and it resulted to 90 degrees exactly, therefore the two angles are said to be what? They are said to be complementary angles, okay? So we should say that one angle is the complement of the other angle. So that is complementary angle. While on the other hand, supplementary angles, so if you're going to get the sum or to add the two angles, for say for example the given, okay, the two angles given, and it resulted to 180 degrees for supplementary, okay? Exactong 180 po ang sum. Therefore, they are called as supplementary angles, okay? Are we clear with that? So that will be the difference for complementary and supplementary angles. Okay? So this will be the representation. Say for example, you have here the angle A and angle B, is the alpha and the beta. Okay? Say for example, this will be 45 for your angle A, and this will be is 45 degrees. So if you're going to add 45 degrees plus, and the 45 degrees, then you will be having 90 degrees. Exactong 90 degrees, therefore they are complementary angle. On the other hand, dito po in representation, you have here angle A and angle B, alpha and the beta. Okay po. See for example, this will be 90 degrees for angle A, and for angle B, 90 degrees also. So if we're going to add that 190 plus 90, you will be having 180. Okay. In addition, your 90 degrees in representation for region in form, we are talking about the region in form. So that is actually equivalent to pi over 2. Later, we will know how to convert degrees into region as well as region into degrees. Okay? So we are now done with the complementary and supplementary angle. I know you got it. So now let's proceed here. Okay? Now, say for example that we are looking for the complementary angle of a given degrees. Okay? How to find that? Simple lang po. Okay? So you just need to find the angle na nagko-complement mo sa given. Okay? So say for instance, we have to find the complementary and the supplementary angle of 72 degrees. So ano po yung add natin dito na degrees to make it 90 na masasabi natin complementary angles. At ano rin po yung add natin sa 72 para maging 180 to make it to call as supplementary angle. Okay? All you have to do, of course, is to subtract. Okay? Using the complementary and the supplementary values. Okay? For complement, 90 degrees minus 72, then yung 18 degrees po ay complement, yun yung complement angle niya to make it complementary angle dito sa 72. And here, for supplement, 180 minus 72, you just need to subtract only. So 180 minus 72, you will be having 108. So ito po yung supplementary angle ni 72. Okay? Simple as that. Okay, complementary, you just need to subtract given angle, okay, to find the complement angle and the supplement angle. Okay? So as stated here, one radian is actually equivalent to the measure of the central angle represented as this, okay? The theta that intercepts an arc S equals R of the circle. Okay, so we have here the radian. Again, when we say radian, ito po, this will be the measure of an angle. Note that the central angle is taken in degrees if it is indicated. Otherwise, central angle is in radian measure. Recall the following conversion. Okay, as stated here, okay po, ang one revolution, ito po yung sinasabi ko kanina, this will be the concept, so I want you to be familiarized with this corresponding values, okay? Ang one revolution po ay equal to 360 degrees, okay? So if one revolution is equivalent to 360 degrees, then therefore your 360 degrees is equal po sa 2 pi radians, okay? Kasi po dito, sa Cartesian coordinate system, we have here this one. This will be the half, right? Half of 360. And this will be served as your pi. Okay? Ito po yung pi. Okay po? In radian in form. So in one region, you will be having 180 all over pi degrees. Okay, so if you are converting this one into degrees, okay, so I want you to stick with this concept, itong tatlo. Tapos if you know now how to manipulate, you can now actually disregard this. Okay, ito lang yung importante po. Okay, so to represent to you again, this will be the values of degrees and radians on the circle. So you have here, we all know that this one is 0. And if you have here, if we're going to have one rotation here, okay, you will be having 360 degrees. Wherein 360 degrees is actually equal to 2 pi. And your 30 degrees is actually pi over 6, okay? So as you can see here, the blue lines here, okay, as you can see here, the denominator is 4. So this is something like the 1/4 of your whole circle. And this will be the 3/4. As you can see here, this will be served as, and this will be the protractor, say for example, okay? If we're going to visualize that one. And this will be your the third one, which is 5 over 4 pi in radian form, and so on and so forth. Okay, so to know how to convert that, all you have to do, since one radian is actually equal to 180 all over pi degrees, so ang gagawin lang po natin is to multiply. Say for instance, how to convert. So this will be the conversion between degrees and radians. To convert degrees to radians, you just need to multiply degrees by pi radian all over 180 degrees. Number two, to convert radians to degrees, you just need to multiply only the radian. You just need to multiply only it by 180 degrees all over pi radian. Okay? So, of course, to make it, ano naman, to cancel out. Okay? Para mag-lead tayo sa hinahanap natin degrees, or it can be radian as well. Okay? So for you to understand more, let's have an example. We have here example number 1. Let's convert this radian. So this will be in radian in form. Always remember, pag naka-radian po, ay meron po laging pi. Okay po? So this will be in radian, at we have to convert this one into degrees. Okay? So ang gagawin lang po natin, we have to times it by 180 degrees all over pi. Ayan lang po siya. Okay? Ayan lang po siya. So, pag degrees naman, i-multiply mo lang naman siya sa pi over 180 degrees. Okay? For instance, we have your pi over 6 times 180 degrees all over pi. So, as you can see here, number one key is, bakit po nasa denominator yung pi? Kasi nga, we need to what? We need to cancel out the radians, right? Nakuha po? Kasi nga po, we are looking for the degrees. Okay? So, that's the concept. So, we're just like converting, normal computation. Okay? So, you will be having pi over 6. This automatically 1. So, 1 times 180, you will be having 180 degrees. Okay, using your calculator. And then 6, cancel na po ito, mawawala na. So, 6 na lang. So, 180 degrees divided by 6, you will be having 30 degrees. Therefore, ang pi over 6 po is actually equal to 30 degrees. Wala pong pinagkaiba lang. Ito po ay radian in form, and this one is degree in form. Okay? Radians in form, degrees in form. Okay? Simple as that. So, ayun lang po ang gagawin to convert. And to convert degrees into radians naman po, we have here 60 degrees. Okay po. So, bakit po dito 180 degrees? Kasi nga po, same po degree para ma-cancel po. Kasi we're looking for radian. Okay, nakuha po yung concept. So, it can be pi over 180 again, pi over 180, or 180 all over pi. Ayun lang po yung multiply nyo if you are converting degrees to radians as well as radians into degrees. Okay po, for instance, cancel out na po ito, matitira si pi radian. So 60 divided by 180, so that is divisible by, so will you please simplify this one? That is divisible by 60. So 60 is 1. 60 divided by 60 is 1. 180 divided by 60 is 3. Therefore, you have here 1. So 1 times pi. May naiwan pang pi. So you will be having 1 pi. Okay? Or just simply pi. That's why you have here pi over 3. Okay? I hope that was clear. Ganun lang po kasimple. And now let's proceed here to the standard angle and coterminal angle. Okay? So ano po ba itong concept na po ito, itong coterminal at standard angle na to? Again, kanina sinabi ko na po ito in the previous slide na yung standard position, paano natin ulit masasabing standard position? Kung yung vertex mo ay, ano po, nasa origin mo, okay, using the Cartesian coordinate system. Tapos po yung initial side mo po ay nagko-coincides with the x-axis, okay? So that is in the standard position. And what about coterminal angles? When we say coterminal angles, these are the angles that have the same initial. We are operating to the same initial. Okay, so the side that is not moving, and here the terminal side, the same also with this. Okay, the terminal that is actually moving. Okay, so we're not pertaining to this one. Dapat po nagko-coincide or the same initial and same terminal side. If that's so, then we should say that they are coterminal angles. For instance, some examples of coterminal angles are 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so they are coterminal angles. Okay, saan po ba yan? Ito po yung 0 nyo at ito rin po yung 2 pi nyo. Tama? Kasi nga pag umikot yan, 360 degrees, 2 pi po siya, right? So, nag-coincides po doon. The same, right? So, therefore, they are coterminal angles. Okay? As well as pi over 4. Okay? And 9 pi over 4. They are coterminal angles. Okay? So let's find coterminal angle given this example number 1. Okay? So in finding the coterminal angle, there are two possible answers. Say for example, you are looking for the negative angle and positive angle. Kasi nga po, meron nga po tayong clockwise and counterclockwise, right? So pag clockwise, that is negative, okay? Negative angle, okay? And if it is counterclockwise, of course, that is positive. Okay po? So, meron pong dalawang possible answer. But this one, so say for example, for this example, we are looking only for the what? For the negative. We're looking for the negative, okay? Negative angle. So, since ang given po ay positive angle, okay? Since po ay ang given po ay positive, so we say for example, we are looking for the negative. So, all you have to do is you have to subtract only. Okay, subtract only into 2 pi, which is actually equivalent to 360 degrees. Okay, in doing so, okay, we have here 7 pi all over 3 minus 2 pi r. Okay, kasi po, to find the coterminal angle, you just need to add 2 pi, okay, if you're pertaining to the positive angle, and subtract 2 pi or 360 degrees, okay, if you're looking for the negative angle. Okay? So we have here this one. So we all know 2 pi is actually equivalent to 6 over 3 using the LCD, right? So all you have to do is you have to subtract numerator to numerator. So 7 pi minus 6 pi, that is 1 pi or pi only. And then copy the denominator. That's why you have here pi over 3. So your pi over 3 will be served as the negative angle that you have. I mean, this one, if you're looking for the negative, okay, negative angle, the resulting outcome will be pi over 3. Okay? So that's how are you going to find coterminal. And another example, say for example, you have here the given negative angle, okay? And say for example, we are looking for the positive angle. So if you're looking for the positive angle, all you have to do is to add naman po, to add 2 pi, okay? So do the same thing, you have your 2 pi. So we all know that 12 divided by 6 is 2 pi. So negative 7 plus 12, you will be having 5 here. 6 copy 6. Okay, so for the positive angle, you will be having this angle, which is 5 pi over 6. Okay, ganun lang po kadali. And what about if we are looking for the positive or negative angle? For example number 3. So this is example number 3. Given here 85 degrees, okay? So you just need to what? You just need to add only 360 degrees and you have to minus 360 degrees, okay? For the negative and for the positive angle. Okay? So ano po ang result pag positive? Pag positive angle, so you will be having 445. Ipagpa-plus lang po. Okay? Itong 360 is actually equivalent to 2 pi. Don't be confused. Okay? And if you are negative, if you have negative naman po, negative angle, then you have to subtract. And what is 85 minus 360 degrees? That is equal to negative 275. Ito po, again, clockwise po siya pag ganito po. Kasi nga pabaliktad, therefore that is negative. Okay? Pag dito naman po, counterclockwise, pag ganito naman po siya ang ano niya, movement niya. So, that is positive. Okay? I hope nakuha po yung concept ng coterminal, how to solve. And now, what will be the difference of reference angle and coterminal? So, kanina po na-define na po natin. Okay? Okay, so we have here the reference angle. So we have here the reference angle by, so we have here how are we going to identify reference angle? So a reference angle is actually pertaining to the smallest positive angle form na nagpo-form po between the terminal side and the x-axis. For instance, say for example, I have here the x-axis. Okay po, ito po yung x-axis ko. And I have here the terminal side. So ito pong nagpo-form na ito is what we call the reference angle. Okay? So ano po ba yung reference angle nito? So let's have an example for you to understand more. Say for example, we are looking for the reference angle of 85 degrees, and I want you to take down note of this, okay? So we have here the Cartesian coordinate system, right? And we all know that this is actually divided into 4 quadrants. This will be the first quadrant, and this will be the second quadrant, and this will be the third quadrant, and this will be the 4. I'll give you the technique na lang po, okay? All you have to do if yung angle po na given to find the reference angle, and in addition po, na ang reference angle po natin is always positive. Okay? There's no negative reference angle. Okay? So if you have negative, you just need to get the absolute value of that. Okay? Again, for finding the reference angle, so ito, sige for example, hinahanap mo si reference angle represented as this. Okay? Kung ano po yung given, automatic, ayun na po yung reference angle mo po. Okay? For instance, ito po, 85 degrees, saan po siya nagdalay? Sa quadrant 1, right? So ito po yung 85 degrees, for example. So therefore, the reference angle is po 85 degrees. Okay po? Ito po yung reference angle. Okay? Pag quadrant 2 naman po, all you have to do if you're looking for the reference angle, you just need to what? Subtract. Okay? So you have here 180 degrees minus the angle, okay? So, ima-minus lang naman po. Pag nasa quadrant 3 naman po, nag-lie sa quadrant 3, so all you have to do, if you're looking for the reference angle, so ima-minus mo naman po yung given into 180 degrees. Okay po? Kasi nga, mas malaki nga to. So, you have, positive answer. And for this one, if you're looking for the reference angle na nag-lies po into fourth quadrant, so all you have to do is you have to what? You have to subtract 360 degrees, okay, to the given angle. Okay, I want you to familiarize with this. Okay, so this is extended here. Okay, so another example para po mas makita nyo yung difference. Say for example, I have here example number 2. Let's find the reference angle of 136. And we all know that 136 lies on the second quadrant because we have here the 90 degrees, right? Say for example, this will be your 136. Okay, dito po. 136 ito. It lies in the second quadrant. All you have to do is you have to subtract. Okay? So 180 degrees. Yung formula po na binigay ko, this one. So 180 degrees minus the angle given. So 180 degrees minus 136, you'll be having 44 degrees as your reference angle. That's it. Simple as that. Okay? Another example, say for example, 222 naman po. Okay, 222. So that lies on the third quadrant, isn't it? Because this is 180 and this is 270, right? So naglies po siya dito. Say for example, dito po. Okay, so this is 222. Say for example, up to here. Ayan po. So ito po siya. So all you have to do is you have to subtract. So 222 minus 180 degrees. Therefore, ang 42 degrees nyo po will be serve as your reference angle. Okay? Are we clear on that? I hope you've learned something new. Okay, I think this will be the end of my slide. I hope you've learned something new, especially the concept of the coterminal, the reference angle, the degree measure, how to convert degrees into radian, and also the basic concepts of circular function. Okay, so thank you for listening. everyone.